Welcome back to Notes from the Sanctuary. I'm Véronique.
And I'm Paola.
And we're learning to live a better, gentler life, and we want you along for the ride.
Yeah, so today we're doing something a little playful, but also a little bit sacred. We're talking about card reflection and inner listening, and again, to your inner knowing, same kind of theme. But we're also going to do a live draw together and on air using these Oracle Birds deck. And whether you've worked with cards before, or you think it sounds completely silly, or I promise it's actually not as crazy as it sounds, and it can just be kind of fun. Yeah.
So, have you ever had a moment where an image, a symbol, or something you came across in the world felt like it was speaking directly to you?
Yes. The first thing that came to mind, like this has always stuck with me. It was like 2015. And I had just ended a relationship, or let's call it a situation. We'll say a situationship. And finding and am I in the right path? Am I wasting my time? That kind of thought when you win something and you're not sure if you're doing things as you're supposed to. And I was in Mexico traveling with my brother. And I remember he was there with his partner at the time, and they went to explore something. And I found a really cozy spot on a hammock. And then the sunset came. And I just remember feeling a sense of peace. And just the colors of the sunset were so intense and vibrant and strong. Yes, almost accepting you're good. And then a parrot came. I actually have pictures of this parrot, and this parrot hung out with me.
Oh my God.
And was at the foot of my hammock. And I was just
I don't know. I feel like birds are so spiritually connected. I don't know if it's just a brain thing because they fly higher, or if it's an actual idea. It's just yeah.
And I don't know, I believe sometimes that animals and Mother Nature is bringing, or they come to you or with you at a time when maybe you need them the most. And I think in that moment, I just felt such a strong sense of peace and yes, I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right thing. And I have this was oh my gosh, 11 years ago now. But to this day, I still remember that because it was such an odd combination of things, but such a strong feeling that it still stays with me to this day.
No, it's very, very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong image.
Yeah.
I see signs everywhere. I feel that I don't know how to interpret them.
Interesting. Okay.
So often, and it's always really weird things. Yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. But anyways, we used our Nespresso machine for the first time in months. And then next thing I know, in the group chat, they're talking about the Nespresso. And then my mom sends me a message about the Nespresso. Oh, honey, but it's just we haven't talked about, and it's okay, universe, what the hell am I supposed to do with Nespresso? I don't get it. I don't understand this.
And clearly, it's just, this is Nespresso.
I don't and we got these types of things, and it's just probably me reading too much into things. But it's just constantly, I have these weird thing that I feel there's something I'm supposed to understand from this, and I'm just yeah, no, you're gonna have to speak a whole lot more clear.
I hear you, but I don't know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay, I get that I'm getting a sign, but yeah, you're good. No, I don't understand. Sorry. I don't understand your language.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. And I think, it may come with practice. maybe the more you see these things and you associate it with maybe things that happened after, it could be how you like learn to understand, because there's no true, like, again, there are people in the world who may be like, oh yeah, coffee, this, this, that, that's, this exactly is gonna happen. And you're like, ow. And then it doesn't, or it does.
It's a lot more personal than
Yes.
like it's that you kind of have to understand
Yes.
your inner, I guess, like
Knowing.
yeah, inner knowing. It's like an inner lexicon.
Yeah. 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 That's very cool.
Okay, so I guess I am going to now introduce our weekly resource. This is a free resource. It's a fun little one. It is called The Inner Mirror. And it is a little card reflection guide. So it's a guide to kind of help you use cards, whether they be like a normal card playing deck, whether it's like an oracle, whether it's tarot. If you don't have cards, you can also like there's actually like some suggestions of different ways that you could use like different images or basically because it's not fortune telling. It's not we're talking a lot about spirituality, but in this case it's a lot more inner knowing.
Yes.
Okay, so these activities are the inner knowing side of things. It's about things that as you see them make you realize how you feel about something.
Yes. It's that intuition. And while this is V's deck, I have my own. These are oracle cards. I have tarot cards. But you can also do regular playing cards as well, because the key is your intention, your intuition, and the energy you bring into the cards, and then what you pull based on your feeling and inner thought in that moment, and
how you interpret it. That's
yes,
a huge thing,
which is very personal as well.
So this is actually why at the end of this guide there is actually a spot where you can write down as you figure out that certain cards have specific meanings to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually start kind of writing them down so that you kind of have your own lexicon.
Yeah. And it could be anything, like, again, because these are bird themed, it could be like, oh, the cockatoo makes me feel, X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be just from experience the more you do it, or it could just be like, I looked at this and I felt a sense of.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of go with that gut feel.
Yeah, that inner knowing. So that's what this is. So while some people may say it's mumbo jumbo, I think it's not at all,
because I think like you can look at it as a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
But even if you don't believe that there is like anything guiding it from, the universe out there, there's still that way you're interpreting it. The way, like that feeling you get when you see the card, that's all you.
Yeah. 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 So that being said, we are going to do a little activity, a little poll from this deck.
And we're going to use the 3-card reflection spread. So basically, Paola's going to choose 3 cards, and those cards are going to be what she's carrying, what's emerging, and what she needs.
So the way I normally do it is I'll hold the deck and kind of visualize my goal or what I want, or like what the intention is from this pull, which is what I'm carrying, what is emerging, and what I need.
So the reflection list, whole reflection for what I'm carrying is what energy, emotion, pattern, or situation is present in me right now. What am I bringing to this moment?
Interesting.
All right.
When?
I feel like it goes with a lot of what you've been talking about.
Yeah. Collaboration and working together, others, relationships. Yeah, that's actually really powerful. So that's what I'm carrying. That's what I'm holding. That's what I'm bringing with me today.
You definitely brought that with you.
Yes, that's actually really cool. Wow.
All
Okay.
right. So now what is emerging?
Okay. And what's the prompt here?
The prompt is what is beginning to shift, awaken, or ask for attention? What is trying to move through me or forward in my life?
Interesting. It's the goose. So, staying true to yourself, you will find outer peace by finding peace within.
Wow.
That's super powerful.
Isn't that like the other thing you were talking about being
On myself, being easier on others, being gentler, staying true to who I am, like my values. Holy moly. Okay. That's actually really powerful. Cool. Okay.
So now it's what you need. So
Yeah.
it is what quality, practice, perspective, or kind of support would most serve me right now.
Interesting. So I got the swan. Light and beauty. You recognize the beauty of light, and it's mirrored in the gown of your soul. It's the glimmers. I need to go back to the glimmers.
Yeah, you haven't talked about the glimmers.
No. I feel like I forgot about that. Like I've been so focused on go, like busy. I forgot about my goal this year to feel joy and happy and glimmers. I need to keep going. Holy, okay, this is actually super powerful. I'm actually about to take a picture of this because this is so cool. Wow. Okay. Wow. So I invite you guys to use this little resource.
You can use any type of cards. In the resource, it will actually like give you some ideas on how you can use playing cards. But again, you really use your intuition. So you can see like, the ideas it gives you and kind of just like take it from there and see what feels true to you.
Yeah. You may be surprised about what comes up. Like I just
No, I did this a couple days ago and I've got to find where I wrote it down because like it was like that level of
you're like, wow. Holy. Okay. Wow. I feel like I'm just image like, oh wow. I find that's just truly powerful when you see something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our conversation questions. So this is not a script. It's just kind of open questions that we kind of bounce off of, I guess.
Yeah. Non-scripted, and we're just gonna, bring in our usual experience, life situation, all that fun stuff.
Handy for them.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. So, how does working with a card image feel different from journaling or talking something through?
It's an interesting question because I journal when I do polls normally. Because when I do polls, so I have a tarot deck. Again, you can do polls from almost anything, and normally I just do one per day, or if it's something really intense, I'll do multiple card pulls. And I find because they can be quite intense, I'll journal about each card that I pull and think about that. And for me, it's almost like a prompt. So while it could be different in the sense that this is a physical card that is helping you journal, others may choose an actual written prompt, like the one on our website there. Yeah. Others may choose or think that that's an easier way to journal and then begin the reflection. But for me, it's one and the same.
I feel like the cards are kind of we're like in your face.
Yeah.
Like, like you get hit right away with that image, right? You're like, hello, as opposed to a question is like a more slow start. You're like, you kind of start, oh yeah, yeah, and then like the card is just like, boom. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So it can be maybe not as gentle, but it forces you to think about things.
Oh, for sure.
And like, why did I just pull this? Right? And
Why did I feel the way I felt when I pulled that?
yes. It's your gut feeling and your inner knowing. You need to listen to that.
Yeah. All right. So the guy says there is no correct reading. How do you hold that when part of you wants to get it right?
That's tough because I feel that some people may say, oh, I can't do this reading because I don't know how, or like I haven't been trained or whatever. And there's a right way to do it and there isn't. But I don't think so, because it's you reflecting using the intention of what this pull is, the energy I'm giving into the card, and then the reading you feel to yourself. So right away, like my glimmers, right? Like that's something I was talking about a lot earlier and I kind of forgot about it. Yeah. So it's for me, that's what I thought. But maybe if someone else had pulled that card, it would have been completely different.
Yeah. And I think also like with these types of things is that there is different practices. So there are practices that might be a lot more structured. But there are practices that are a lot more intuitive.
Yeah.
And so I guess like if you're trying to do something that's more structured, you might worry a bit more about doing it the right way. I feel that that's probably not how you should start.
Yeah.
I also think that from my question, like, you want to get it right. I kind of get that feeling too, that sometimes when you're about to pull the card, you're like, oh, I want this card to make sense. You know, like you've done that, like, what if this card is not going to like, then it's going to kind of be disappointing. Yeah, like you don't want that disappointing reading. And it's funny because I tested it out with my daughter and she was disappointed with her reading, but I thought it was very on point. It was just a little insulted. She needed to be like shaken.
Yeah.
I feel like the cards thought she needed that.
It may not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel that, I was going to react to something you said, but I will say that there is no way of doing it wrong. There's just your way.
Yeah.
So just be gentle on yourself.
That was the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would you say to someone who feels drawn to this but thinks it's not for them or worries that it conflicts with their beliefs? That's a big one.
Yes. I'll hit the beliefs one first because I feel that there is this misconception that these kinds of cards are like witchcraft. And may go against your religious beliefs or whatever beliefs you may have. But I want to say that that's not the intent. And that's maybe what has been dramatized,
Dramatized, I think. Yeah.
Yes, that. To be like almost like a negative thing, but it's really not. It's using cards as a tool, as a physical visual tool,
As a mirror.
yeah, to figure out what is happening inside this, right? Because sometimes we're thinking about too many other things, but it can center us back, and then you will read into that what's in the back of your mind, what's right there that you need to tell yourself that you haven't been listening to.
Yeah, for sure. I think that cards are sometimes used in these other practices.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean that they belong to those practices.
No.
Um, so, for example, there's a shaman that I follow, and he does a card reading like once a month and whatever, and he uses different types of decks. Sometimes it's tarot, sometimes they're oracle decks, and so like you can use it as part of a practice, but it is also it's also very personal,
Yeah.
and it's also like it can be whatever you want it to be. Like it can be as spiritual or as grounded as you want it to be.
Hmm. And if you don't think it's for you, it's not for you. Like, this is not us telling you, like, pushing it, like, down your throat, telling you you need to do that. No, darts, you hurts. Not at all. Like, this is,
No, it's just giving, I don't know, like even some people, they don't believe that it even reflects anything. They just find it fun.
yeah, you're having, yeah, or it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And again, everyone has their own beliefs, but we love it. So, can I keep doing it?
I love the idea that it can be just all you, or it can be spiritual. Like
Yeah.
the fact that it can be anywhere on that spectrum.
Absolutely.
The guide includes a section for days when you don't know where to begin. What does that land on for you?
Yeah. So looking at the guide, it seems to be, well, that section is near the center if you print it out and make it into a little booklet, or around like page 10-ish. And what's interesting looking at that is that there's either you can draw a card that just, okay, what does this physically look like to me? Nothing, okay, or like, hey, this looks interesting, talk about it. Or it says, if you have no cards, open a book to a random page, read the sentence that your eye falls on, sit with it, and that's like equivalent to your card. And it's really interesting because my mom, we literally had this conversation like last week. And my mom was telling me how she does this with a lot of books because she believes that the universe, God, or whoever will show her what she needs to know right now. And that's what this is. It's the energy coming down or the energy that you already know coming up to see it. Analyzing? Okay, so anyway, this is really interesting. And for me, when I think about this question, what does that land on for you? It's this. It's that a poll or a reading or anything like that. It can be from anything. It can be from a picture, from a drawing, from a book, and it's you will get from it what you need to know right now.
I love that because again, you don't have to believe in anything greater, because it could be just like your subconscious will focus on what you need to focus on.
Exactly. And you'll get from it what you need to know. Because for what, like, that's just the universe passing down energy into you in a way that is accessible. Okay. So like, again, my mom will take a book and she'll open it randomly and boom. Like for me, I landed on card meanings are not fists. Do you know what I'm not saying that this is always like, it can be a little bit funny and silly sometimes, but
It could be fun.
yeah, like I think that's a really cool way. It doesn't have to always be, oh, let me get a deck of cards, and which I enjoy, but also it can be exhausting.
Sometimes you might just like feel lost and you don't want to clear the space or clear your mind enough to do it. That
Yeah.
you just want to grab a book off of a shelf and just like,
Yeah, do it. And maybe you're like, I haven't read this book in a while. I'm gonna open it. I have 10 minutes. Let me do it. Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, so the closing line of the booklet says, the cards are simply permission to look. What do you think we need permission for?
I think it's permission to ourselves, but it's also a way of listening. Because as we like talked about in our previous podcast, you can hear, and building trust means listening, but sometimes you're like, is that real? Or like you may be second guessing. But it's okay, like be gentle with yourself. Maybe like give yourself the permission to accept what you're hearing is what you need to hear or see or feel right now.
I think in the book, the permission is definitely permission to yourself. I also think that if you are asking a higher power, if you're believing in that and you're asking, it's kind of nice to be asking permission too. Kind of like, can I see more?
Interesting. Like, is it okay if what I'm feeling is
Yeah.
what I'm feeling? And maybe it's a sense of like peace, brings a sense of peace again. Again, this is how we're taking it. There's so many different ways to take it. Like, yeah, it's the interpretation. We're interpreting it in this way because this is where we're at. And not everyone will be at the same place. Right? So, yeah. Cool.
You're gonna play with cards again.
Yeah. Do you want to do it? Okay, cool. So, if you have any cards nearby, we're gonna do even a regular deck of cards. Go ahead and draw one. Hold it and ask, what is my first feeling? So what is it that you're feeling or that's coming to you? If you have no cards, maybe open a book to a random page like we discussed, or read the first line that lands your eye and sits with you. And you don't need to understand it. You only need to be honest about what you're feeling. Okay.
It's good because understanding it doesn't always.
Yeah, it may not be easy. And you may keep it and then think maybe tomorrow you'll be like, oh, that's what it could be. And then you're like,
Or I get to pick a card.
yeah.
This one felt like it tried to come out when I did a different one. Yeah, why? That one was part of my original one.
Really?
For the one I need.
Interesting.
So, perfection, it says recognize and live your beauty. And it's weird because when I did the 3-card pull before, that was one of my cards. And like when I went, it's just weird.
It was trying to pull out.
Oh God, no,
Okay, so this is it keeps calling you.
listen to it again. And the feeling is, oh, I don't understand exactly what it means by that. I feel like when I pulled it, I was a little less shocked the first time, and because of that, I had a bit more like I made a bit more of a like I felt what this could mean. I feel like this, like getting this card again. Like I haven't pulled these cards. Like this is my second time pulling from these cards. I feel like my brain is kind of not really like can't interpret anything right now. But I do feel like like
It could be like accept you are perfect.
Like, it's funny because like we're always kind of saying the opposite, right? Except that we're not perfect.
But you are perfect in your own way, like in all you do, accept that. Like, I don't know if maybe you're going through judging or, like you said, drama, or you feel like you've been very internalized.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm doing some things right now that are feeling selfish.
Yeah. And that's okay. Maybe it's telling you to be gentle with that.
Recognize
Yeah.
my beauty. It's so weird that it came back again.
That's really kind. Do you feel that bad? It's crazy. Okay. Okay, what is my first feeling? the parrot. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
I literally just talked about the parrots.
Oh my god.
Okay.
These cards.
This is actual witchcraft.
Never mind what we said before.
Okay, so it says parrot, so communication. Life expresses itself in many ways. Humor is only one of them. Interesting.
Do you deflect with humor?
I feel like sometimes there is, yeah. And I know sometimes I giggle when I'm nervous or like, oh, and like humor is an easy thing for me to feel. But I also feel that I have been good at communicating.
Well, it's saying what you're feeling, so maybe it's actually telling you
Yeah.
that you're doing good at it.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow, that's actually really nice. I'm gonna again. I put me another picture.
The journal.
100%, because I feel like I'm gonna be thinking about this the rest of the day and maybe even tomorrow about what more could come from this. Right? That's beautiful. These cards are gorgeous.
I know. I feel like, I don't know. Well, you know, the whole bird thing has been calling to me.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, I saw these cards and they called to me because of the bird things.
Yeah.
It's all that connection.
Yeah, these are the cards. The beautiful oracle.
All of the birds.
Yeah.
So, we've reached the end of this episode. And I'd like to thank you guys for having spent your time exploring this with us. I feel that we were very odd during this episode. It was, yeah, it was. I definitely encourage you to give it a try. I don't know, again, I don't know if it's a spiritual connection or an intuitive one or a combination of both, but there's a connection.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So again, we're gonna still be in March. We're gonna be closing with something.
Gonna be April, but we're just pushing.
Okay. With a theme? Okay. Yeah, because they may not be perfectly aligned with the month. Okay, well that's fine. Anyway, next week we're gonna be doing episode 3.4, which is really cool. It's about dream work and wisdom that comes during the night.
I think it's gonna go well with this.
Yes, so it kind of aligns very well, and we're gonna explore what your dreams may be trying to tell you.
Yeah, and I'll be releasing a premium resource,
Okay.
a DreamWork workbook, hopefully. It's almost done, so
Awesome. I think I will. Awesome. Cool. So it may actually work out perfect.
yeah. No, it's probably the longest I worked on a resource.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, very excited about that. So, yeah, keep an eye out for next week.
Yes. All right. Thanks for joining us, and until then, may you trust what rises. Excuse me.
Oh my God.
Apparently. Until then, may you trust what rises before your mind has a chance to redirect it. You might work your throat like in my case.
Bye.